Everybody can't go home. Or you might find yourself get up off the floor. In my part of town, we put it down. And all on brand niggas, we have to move on around. Bang, you won't like it. Bang, stomping down.
He's pipe, pipe, pipe. Oh yeah, how y'all doing? I apologize for all that technical difficulties that y'all just witnessed, but things happen when you miss with the real news behind the news. Oh yeah, man, the day is November 9th, 2022. Overcast Wednesday night here in Shreveport, Louisiana. And I'm finna bring y'all the real news behind the news that you have been given when it comes down to your elections, World War III. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Kyrie and Kanye. Kyrie and Kanye first. Let's go ahead and get off into it. I don't care if there's nobody watching. I know a lot of y'all are going to see this. Black people, we are the number one consumer. Black people in America are the number one consumers on the planet. And we're letting some people tell us some things that we can't even question. Now notice, hold on, let me cut it down. There's my boy, Iron Mike D, rest easy people. You know, I love you, Cooper Road. Hold on, give me a second, man. Give me a second. All right, we finna go hard in the paint for just a second, because I got probably about 18% battery life left. And we're going to talk about how is it that we as black people, we can say anything we want about any other race under the guise of Black Lives Matter, but soon as Kyrie and Kanye say the things that they said, them Negroes got to go and basically do an apologetic tour. Nick Cannon had to do it. LeBron James, the great LeBron James, when he posted that rap lyric saying that I'm getting this J word money, y'all know I'm gonna be real. This how serious it going. I gotta say J word. Just like now people say N word, you gotta say the J word. So LeBron James posted a video, of some rap lyrics, just some rap lyrics. That said, I'm getting this J word money. And he had to apologize for 2 weeks. They're trying to do the same thing to Kyrie Irving. They really don't know what to do with Kanye. They really want to frame him for some nefarious criminal activity. Probably dealing with his wife's house, because Kanye got a lot going on with his wife, but he's not crazy. He's not crazy, y'all. Kanye is nowhere near crazy. The man is telling you that if we say this, the J words are going to say that. And when the J words say that, that means we got to come and apologize about this. But at the same time, the J words control your music industry, your film industry. So the J word controls all this, and they tell you that when you sing a rap song, we need you to promote the idea that you Negroes sell 32 pounds of dope, have sex with 16 women, smoke 2 ounces of weed, take 12 Molly pills, all before 9 a.m. in the morning. So the J word tells you what you can and cannot say. But we as black people don't realize that our economic contribution to your gross domestic product is over $1 trillion a year. So who are the J words to tell us what the fuck we can and cannot say? Keep in mind they own the banks. Now that's a monkey wrench threw into the program, because now they own the banks. By them owning the banks, you are in a situation now where if you say what you want to say and you gonna say and you gonna stand on what you said, they gonna say, well, you can't put your money in our banks. But wait a minute, we can get around that, black people, because hell, Jeffrey Epstein and all these white politicians or whoever other people, guess what? They got bank accounts. This shit just came out about a year ago, less than a year ago, how they were putting all their money in offshore accounts. They wasn't fucking with the J words banking system. They were putting their money in offshore accounts. Maybe if Kanye had his money in an offshore account where they couldn't, well, with Nike, we're going to give you this much here. Keep in mind. Hold on, let me stop. This your boy, rayzhonte Jr. This is the real news behind the news. Yeah. Today is November 9th, 2022, a Wednesday here in Shreveport. And we talking about something that a lot of people have been talking about, but we as black people got to understand what is being talked about, who is suppressing the talk. Because we can go to Kyrie Irving. Kyrie did nothing more than, hold on, let me look, see if I got comments on this. We're going to go, where's that other device? Y'all give me just a second. We're going to look and see if we got comments. But Kyrie did nothing but post something that Amazon Prime, using the algorithm, when I tell y'all, there's two people that control everything that you see and everything that you do, and there's Mark Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos. Do y'all realize Jeff Bezos controls Google, YouTube? Mark Zuckerberg controls Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp. So when I tell y'all that there's only two people controlling what you hear, y'all better pay attention. Propaganda is my job to fight. Put it like this. The media, the government, the corporations using your government, and who in turn use the media to deceive you with propaganda, my job is to be the condom, to keep you from getting fucked and pregnant with their propaganda. Propaganda is the #1 word for the day, boys and girls. Because you in America think that you the smartest motherfuckers ever in the history. Y'all be sitting up here talking about how, my little 3-year-old so goddamn smart. He's the smartest generation in history. Because he ain't but 2.5 years old. And he be watching SpongeBob and all this shit. Ask that little guy that's 2.5, that's just 2 years old, that can get your cell phone and not hit that microphone button and say SpongeBob. Ask him to spell SpongeBob. Guess what? He can't do it. Most of us can't spell SpongeBob because we have been deceived by propaganda using your social media devices to create an alternative reality where you all in America and I'm just keeping it real. I'm not trying to judge nobody or whatever, but I'm just keeping Americans think we're the smartest motherfuckers in human history and don't realize how fucking stupid we have become. Try to go to jail or go somewhere and you need to call somebody using somebody else's phone and you don't know your grandmama's number right now. Back in the 70s, we remember 35 to 40 different numbers because we had that big rotary dial phone. We had to think. Right now, you and your children can't think because you have been given an Android, an iPhone that is nothing more than a computer that is designed to think for you so you can't figure out how do I call my deal because I need to bond out of jail. You can't think of 12 numbers right now in your phone without your phone being on. You cannot remember 12 numbers. But when we was in the 70s, before all this shit here really started going back, and we gonna talk about that. Oh, let me see how much time we got. We dealing with a battery situation. This device here, the one I had Jay got, that motherfucker broke too. Fell off a ladder. Me and the phone and the tablet fell off a ladder about a week ago. That shit hurt. But anyway, you have been brainwashed to the point where you can't even remember your cousin's phone number. You cannot even remember how to spell simplicity. Think about this. You have to go to Google to ask Google. If you're doing with Google, you're doing with if you're dealing with Google, you're dealing with Alexis, and if you're dealing with iPhones, you're dealing with Siri. Guess what? You're talking to artificial intelligence that's telling you what you need to know without you having to actually do the research about what it is that you want to find out. You cannot do the research today. You cannot do this shit even though you got a computer in your hand. That Android, that iPhone is a computer, and it has dumbed us down so much that we thinking putting our little 8-year-old daughters on Instagram twerking is the cutest shit ever created outside of gingerbread men. When you don't realize you're allowing your little 8-year-old daughter to be exposed to pedophiles. Because I'm going to be real, with this upcoming election, let's get off into this shit, man. I just got deep right there. I just went on the zone. Let's get off into this shit. With this election, do y'all realize what the Democrats really want to do? Going back to your 8-year-old daughter twerking, they want to lower the age of consent. And these are just my opinions, so we won't get blocked by YouTube. But they want to lower the age of consent. Do y'all realize what I just said about lowering the age of consent? You got the LGBTQ, PLMNOP, SWV, LSG, NWA. You got that community, and I ain't got no problem with them until they start telling me what I can tell my children or the children around me about what's reality with the XX and the XY chromosome. Unless you can change that, you can't change shit. But I'm finna get off into something a little bit deep, y'all. Now, they tell us that we gotta say one thing when the reality that you and I live. Oh, hold on. Just got a notification. I'm hoping it's my son. Matter of fact, let me open this up. See you all come in. Ain't nobody commenting on this bitch shit. I'm gonna have to see. Matter of fact, I know what it is. Y'all give me just 1 second. 1 second. Let me get this other device up because I can't see you all's comment because again, me and this tablet and this phone fell off a ladder a couple of days ago. That shit hurt it. Hold on, y'all give me a second. Let me pull you all's comments up because I can't mash the buttons like need to be mashed to see you all's comments. So we're gonna go right here. Right here. Do that. Go here. No, we don't want to do that. VIP. No, I want the pin number. We want this. All right, cool. All right, y'all give me just a second. And here we go. I'm finna try to see if I can see you. Nobody's coming. Jackson boy here.
I gotta give me just a second. Here we go.
All right, Jackson boy, this is what we're gonna do.
I'm finna try to see if
We're finna roll hard in the paint like we normally do here at the Real New Behind News. Now, when it all comes down to it, y'all, we have been brainwashed in America to the point where your smart devices are smarter than you. Smarter than you. Guess what? If you lose your phone or your boyfriend go through your phone, your girlfriend get all your text messages and all that out your phone, you are handicapped. Think about this. When I lose my phone, guess what? I break a phone. Literally, this is nothing to brag about, but I break a phone almost 8 times in less than 2 weeks because I climb up and down ladders and shit like that, painting and shit like that. But guess what? Without that phone, you feel like a piece of your body is missing. So again, Jeff Bezos, who controls Google, whenever you go on, if you're on Google, if you got an iPhone, you're going to go on Siri. But you're going to ask them a question, and it's going to be a white girl with a soothing voice saying, the definition of nigga is somebody who will rob, kill, and steal from you. This is what Google, Siri and Alexis is meant for, to keep you from thinking. Again, going back to the situation, just 40 years ago, y'all, you had a touch tone phone. Wasn't no motherfucking cell phones, no portable devices. But you had to remember your grandmother's number, your auntie's number, your Aunt Sally's number. You had to remember these numbers, meaning every time you literally punch the button, put it like this: 318-221-7585. That's my Miss Penny number. I remember that from 50 years ago, 40 years ago. I remember my Miss Penny number. I remember my Medilla's number, because we had to actually think when we was pressing a button. Now, all this shit is given to you to the point where you don't have to think. So by you as an adult not thinking, your children can't think because you're not teaching them how to think critically. Because if you were, you will not let somebody in the LGBTQ community tell you that just because you 12, going back to the age of consent, just because you 12 years old, you are able to make a decision to lay with a 42-year-old man or woman. How many of y'all gonna let your 12-year-old boy lay with a 40-year-old woman? Or your 12-year-old daughter lay with a 40-year-old man, simply because the Democrats are trying to lower the age of consent that is going along with all this other stuff that they're doing. Because I'm going to just be real. I'm not a Republican, Democrat, Christian, Muslim, or Jew. I'm just a Negro here on America's soil, born on the planet Earth. And I'm telling y'all what I've seen in my travels. I'm 52 years old right now. In the last 40-some years, I've been all around this globe. Almost. I ain't going to say all around the globe. Almost around this globe. And I'm telling you all, as black people, even lowering the age of consent, the LGBT community, going back to Kanye and Kyrie, we better wake the fuck up. We as black people will sit up and criticize and call each other the C word. You know what? When I say C word, I'm going to just say COON. From now on, that is the word for the day. C-O-O-O-N, but I'm going to say C word. Just like I have to say N word for nigga. But don't if I say nigga or N word, I still mean nigga. Let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all think there's a difference between Negroes and niggas? Black men and niggas? Which would you rather be standing at the ATM at 12 o'clock in the morning trying to get a few dollars out so you can put some gas in there, get your baby some milk or whatever? Which one would you rather run into? A black man with his ATM card in his hand, nicely dressed, run over, just waiting for you to get on so he can get his, or a nigga with a ski mask and a pistol? Y'all don't think it's the difference between black folks and niggas? Going back to Kyrie, all Kyrie Irving did was post something that Amazon, going back to Google, got on their website today. Amazon Prime has the story from Hebrew to Negro still up and running, from my understanding, at this very moment. But Kyrie Irving got to apologize for posting it. So black people, are y'all really thinking? Man, I be seeing a lot of black people that threw Kyrie and Kanye under the bus. And don't realize them brothers, them put a lot of people to work all across the planet, not just here on America, on American soil, but all across the planet with his branding, Kyrie branding. And Nike just told Kyrie that if you don't, well, Nike say we don't even want your money no more. The NBA told Kyrie, if you don't do these 6 things, you're not going to ever play again in the NBA. Why didn't they tell Jeff Bezos to take that shit down on Amazon? Amazon still posting the shit that Kyrie Irving just simply shared a link to. He shared a link from Amazon, Jeff Bezos, Google, YouTube, Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, who's linked to Instagram, WhatsApp. Do y'all get what I'm saying? When I tell you there's only 2 people controlling what you see and what you hear on a day-to-day basis, and you think you're so smart? You think you're so goddamn smart that your 3-year-old child can say SpongeBob into a phone but can't spell SpongeBob? Do you think you're so smart, black people, that knowing that you are spending more money on this planet than a lot of countries every year, you don't control shit in your neighborhood? It is what it is. I'm not going to sit up here and play a game as the real news behind news and jeopardize this channel to try to get y'all to understand that you are being brainwashed every day that you wake up. And to you Christians, y'all should be the first people to figure this out, because all your scriptures that was taken from the Hindu and all these other the Samaritan scriptures that you all promote, I gotta give you credit. They are true. Your Christian scriptures, if you really understand the Revelations, the book of Revelations, how in Revelation 3, what it was, I got a Bible around here somewhere. In Revelations, y'all forgive me, but in Revelation, he say, I will make those who call themselves Jews, but are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. All I'm simply saying, y'all interpret that the way you want. This channel probably finna get blocked forever just by that statement, because I am nobody, but I'm telling you, But Kanye and Kyrie are telling you, maybe you want to listen to it. What the Honorable Louis Farrakhan is telling you, you might want to listen to it as opposed to dismiss it because white people told you to dismiss something where those who call themselves one thing but who are not, but are of the synagogue of Satan, wants you to listen to nothing else but hearing niggas tell your little boys to shoot 37 people before lunch break at the job, at work. Before Meg the Stallion and Cardi B tell you and your daughter how to go out and sell pussy. I'm just keeping it real. This is what they want you to hear and not hear what our two brothers are saying. Because if you listen to what the two brothers are saying, do you realize Nike just dropped Kyrie, Adidas just dropped Kanye, but if niggas who spend, niggas and black folks who spend $1 trillion a year support Kanye and Kyrie, what we can do to build our own community up, because not just us buying, but everybody around the planet buying. Well, that shit might take a backseat to, well, matter of fact, let's go to our next story. That might take a backseat to what's going on in Ukraine. Now, Kanye and Kyrie just got told to shit up Negroes, and if you don't, we're going to take all your money. We're not going to let you make no more money. But do you realize your money from the average taxpayer who go out there and work a job for 40 hours, 50, 60 hours a week, whether you truck driving or you fucking building houses like the shit that I do, guess what? They're sending your tax money to the Ukraine, and y'all ain't paid attention to none of this shit. And all this politics that's been going on these last 48 hours of elections, ain't nobody asked the question, what happened to that $50 billion that y'all just put on pause the last 2 weeks that y'all finna send to Ukraine when y'all just sent $110 billion with a B. $110 billion you sent to the Ukraine over the last 9 months, and guess what? 3/4 of those weapons, because only half that money went for weapons. Let's talk about the money that we sent to the Ukrainian pensioners. Let's talk about the money we sent to the Ukrainian civil servants who ain't getting paid right now, unless you and I were so generous here in America to send them motherfuckers $120 billion of your tax money, meaning that when you go to the nearest grocery store, I just went up to the grocery store that's no more than 4 blocks from here, and we're paying almost $4 for a head of lettuce here in Shreveport, Louisiana. Not mentioning what they paying for it over in motherfucking Zimbabwe. What are they paying for a head of lettuce in Zimbabwe? Since you niggas like to talk about Africa so goddamn much. Hey y'all, I apologize for that. Excuse me, that technical interruption. Let me sum this up in as few words as I can possibly do it in. We as Negroes in America better wake up. Here in Shreveport, just yesterday, Shreveport, Louisiana, black people are 65% of the population. And the population of Shreveport is at least 170 some thousand. Just what, 40 years ago, it used to be almost 300 and some thousand, meaning your children have left because probably leaving a bunch of crazy parents behind. But guess what? Out of 65% of the population, which is black in Shreveport, we have the lowest voter turnout in the history of Shreveport, probably yesterday. And it allowed a lot of people of different races to take over key positions like your mayor. If we don't stand up here and vote for Greg Tarver, we got to vote for Tarver, y'all. We got to go for Tarver. If we don't get Tarver in there, oh, black people, do y'all realize that 65% of the population of Shreveport is black? But at the same time, 65% of the population of Shreveport lives at or below poverty. Meaning that out of 170 some thousand people in this city, when keep in mind, just 30 years ago, we had almost 300 some thousand. The rate of flight, your city is dying, Shreveport. Your city is dying. Now, just yesterday again, out of 170 some thousand people, you got at least, if black folks are 170,000, you got at least 80,000 black people in the city of Shreveport out of 170 some thousand. Actually, you got almost 90,000 because 65% would be almost 90,000 black people. And then probably about 4,000-5,000 of y'all came out and voted yesterday. So when you see these white folks, new faces on your TV, your local news over the next few weeks, guess who fault that shit is? When you see, if you don't go out there and vote for Greg Tarver here in the mayor's race in December, guess what? Come January, if they swearing in a person who don't look, whose skin color is nowhere near mine, who fucking fault is that? Because yesterday we talked all this shit on Jeff Bezos' YouTube, Facebook with Mark Zuckerberg. We talk all this shit on social media, but did not get out and vote yesterday. And guess what? You finna lose 2 or 3 black faces in your local city council because niggas sat at home, and most black people did not get out there and vote. So this is what I do here at the Real New Behind News. And y'all give me a second, man. I'm running on 2 or 3 different devices. I got a lot of shit going on. I'm trying to bring you. Matter of fact, now fuck it. Let's get to it. Hold on, let me see if I can see you all comment here. Give me a second, y'all. Okay, we're gonna roll with it. All right, let me get you all's comments. Some motherfucker put find love on the best dating app site. Guess what? You're the first person to get blocked. And then tomorrow, I'm gonna try to persecute your ass like they doing Kyrie and Kanye. Y'all give me a second, man. Y'all know this the ghetto version of the news. But let me get off into the real news, behind the news. Again, we're sending money to the Ukraine, but how many of y'all having problems buying lettuce? How many of y'all having problem buying cucumbers, tomatoes at the price that you used to buy it at 3 to 4 weeks ago? Just 2 weeks now. I have literally saw the price of a head of lettuce here in Shreveport, Louisiana, go up by $3. But that black girl on NBC, Joy Reid, telling y'all that inflation is something that the white folk gotta teach us. Now y'all better question that black ass. Y'all better question her black ass. No, because what I've seen in the grocery store is going right along with what the definition of inflation is. So we as black people have been trained to listen to the people that white people tell us to listen to, really. We're told to listen to these Democrats who win Ice Cube and all them folk ask the question, what we get out of our votes? They say, nigga, your votes. What have we got? Think about this, y'all. How can you link the alternative community to our struggle as far as civil rights? When I talk about that, I mean, we as black people in America were born black people in America who were descendants of fucking slaves. So now we're descendants of slaves. When they wrote that thing that said all men are created equal, where niggas, where black people were at, were at. We was in their field. We weren't considered in that original Constitution. They had to come back and at least give us 4/5 of the status of a human being. You know why they only did that? So they can get insurance policies. Oh man, this shit get deep. I go real deep. But they got insurance policies that when they created to say we were 4/5, but yet and still niggas talk all this slavery in Louisiana, talk all this black power shit, but y'all didn't get out and vote yesterday to end slavery in your constitution in this state. Do you realize 4 other states passed an amendment to their constitution abolishing slavery and Negroes in motherfucking Louisiana? The most criminalized, penalized, and Louisiana in America. At one point, we had more people on death row. We had more people locked up than per capita, locked up in fucking Russia and China. China got 1 billion people. Here in Louisiana, we got less than 4 million. If you didn't include New Orleans, Baton Rouge, and all that, it would barely be 2 million people. But per capita, Louisiana leads the world as far as motherfuckers being locked up, and it's niggas. And niggas did not even come out and vote yesterday to overthrow the language in the Louisiana state constitution that says as long as you niggas get convicted of a felony, going back to your 13th Amendment of the United States Constitution, because again, that shit don't apply to us. When they made their constitution, nigga, we was in the fields. We were on the motherfucking ground picking cotton, soybean, sugar, all that shit there. We were doing all that shit there. And that constitution said all men are created equal. What that said that they think about us. What they think about us when it said all men are created equal, but you were standing on auction blocks next to fucking chickens, cows, pigs, horses. Literally, you were standing on auction blocks when they said all men are created equal. Then again, later on, they had to come for insurance purpose and say we're going to make them 3/5 of a human. Hold on, let me read some of this. They came here and divide. Man, I was watching some Eyes Rock. A lot of black people in America were already. And you know what? I'm gonna give you props on what you just said, because a lot of black people will tell me I cannot say nothing about my mama's side of the family, who were Cherokee Indians who lived here in Caddo Parish amongst the Caddo Indians. And we as black people don't understand that niggers was already here when Christopher Columbus. A lot of y'all try to say that shit wasn't true, but I'm finna show you something. What was true? Christopher Columbus' brother, who was on that second ship, said that when they touched down in the West Indies, he was surprised that all the black Moors. Now, we as black people like to talk about the Moors. When Christopher Columbus' brother said he was surprised that all the black Moors who are already, who you think showed the Vikings? Well, the Vikings had a little bit more of a direct route, because you got to realize they came from up there. But black people had been selling the fucking world thousands of years ago. Before you had Sparta, before you had Greece, before you had Athens, before you had what I look at the native Indians just on on this side of the world in the Western Hemisphere. What them Indians from South America and North America come from? Came from black people who migrated up north, and at that time you had a land bridge. Man, I'm gonna give y'all geography and everything, but you had a land bridge coming from Russia to Alaska, and they migrated down. At one point, they're saying that it was one piece of earth. All that shit was together. But no matter what we choose to think, we know that them same people 5,000 years ago in South America was telling us the same goddamn thing the people in Africa was telling us. And nobody knew shit about them people that were living in caves up in the northeastern region, Russia, which again, where them people that come from, where he said, I know that you claim that you are Jays, but you're not. But you are of the synagogue of Satan. Why would the synagogue of Satan want to tell Kyrie Irving to shit the fuck up, but not tell Jeff Bezos to take that shit down? Real talk. Kyrie is told he got to do 6 motherfucking things, even though he's already been suspended for 5 games. He's lost his endorsement with Nike. They're not finna release his new shoe. He got to do all this before 12 a.m. next Tuesday morning, but Jeff Bezos can keep the movie that Kyrie simply shared a link to. He shared a link to a movie, and the movie is still up on Amazon Prime. Oh, guess what? Who owns Amazon Prime? Jeff Bezos, the same motherfucker that's owning the shit that y'all watching me on now, YouTube, Google. Do y'all understand there's only 2 people that controls everything that you see and hear? You got 50 million. You get just say you got 32,000 made. Now you got just say 6,000 major record companies in America right now. Guess what? Only 3 people own all them motherfucking record companies. You got CNN, ABC, CBS. You got over 100 and some thousand so-called network, but channels to choose from on your direct TV or your cable. But guess what? Only 8 people own all that shit. And of them 8 people, 6 of them are Jays. Y'all know what I'm talking about when I say Jays. 6 of them are Jays out of the 8 people who own all that shit that you see when you go watch television. That's not including, again, there's 2 people that controls everything that you hear and see on a day-to-day basis on social media. And again, that's Bezos and Zuckerberg. Bezos owns what? Google, YouTube, Amazon. Amazon is the one that was supplying that movie for Kyrie to watch and say, man, I was just looking up my name and this movie came up because I asked Alexa, bitch, what my name mean? He asked that bitch, he asked Alexa, he say, what my name mean? Alexa say, well, Amazon Prime, because guess what? Alexa is on fucking Google. And she said, well, look at this movie from Hebrew to Negro. And Kyrie looked at that movie and said, man, that shit, they're fire. I like this movie because it let me know something about my name. And now that nigga got to apologize. Because they saying it's anti-Semitic, but the place where he watched that motherfucking movie still got the movie up and ain't had to say shit to nobody. They ain't have to say, I'm sorry, cause them niggas got to talk about you. I cannot say nothing about the Jays, man. I'm going to stop hanging around niggas. Matter of fact, so I won't say nothing about them Jays. Really? That's hold on. They came here and divided. But I saw something just a minute ago. I was watching some shit with Farrakhan and said some shit on Phil Donahue show. Ask yourself why Phil Donahue still ain't on TV when his ratings were higher than Jerry Springer. Mario Popovich wasn't even heard of. But Phil Donahue had Louis Farrakhan on that motherfucker. And this white lady said something about go back to where you came from. Go back to Africa. And diplomatically and politely, the Honorable Mr. Farrakhan said, ma'am, if we told you to go back where you came from, where would you go? That's all Europe that your people came from and colonized this shit over here. In other words, in a diplomatic way, he said, bitch, you got me twisted. That's what he told her, basically. Straight up. Hold on. I 34 was invited to honestly University there. What is that melody? So you must have listened to the other. All right, either way go, y'all. I'm gonna end this video, and I gotta block this. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna have to block this video from public use, and I'm gonna have to make it available to only the people who subscribe to the channel because I done said some shit that will get this channel shut down, and you won't be able to hear me say that shit no more. So if you really want to support the real news behind the news, we got the cash tag. Oh no, we ain't got the banner rolling. Well, in these last few minutes, we're gonna put this cash tag up. Y'all can support us through our cash app. Right now, I'm dealing with PayPal. I'm dealing with a lot of people. Y'all don't really understand. Let me keep going just a little bit more. Do y'all really understand that when it came down to when they told Kanye and Kyrie, you nigga better not say nothing else. I tell you what, if you do say something else, we're going to take this bank account from you. We're not going to make it possible for you to even put your billions in our bank. Matter of fact, Nike, Adidas stepped up in Kanye in a situation and said, we're going to take our endorsements back from you. Guess how many black people around the world really buy Kanye shit? Now, I'm going to be real. I wouldn't buy them big ass boots. Them boots fucked up. Them boots look like, come on, man, that shit does look like some shit that you really wear Kanye to exercise with. To try to get your goddamn calf muscles strong. Them boots were ugly as fuck. But a lot of shit Kanye did was tight. All right, you know what I'm saying? The whole Yee brand, that nigga went from Kanye to Yee. You know what I'm saying? Successfully, and made $1 billion doing it. So what if we as black folks say, all right, Nike, since y'all did this against Kyrie, and Adidas, since y'all doing this against Kanye, what if we say fuck both of y'all and provide an infrastructure here in America where black folks can make the goddamn tennis shoes and buy them and then sell them to the rest of the world? We spending $1 trillion a year, y'all. Why can't we support these brothers and create a fucking multi-billion-dollar infrastructure? Because now that Kyrie is suspended by Nike and Kanye is suspended by Adidas, they can do what the fuck they want creatively, and they got the money to provide an infrastructure for Negroes to spend that $1 trillion in, and it's gonna come back to you. Y'all like to talk about Black Wall Street and all that shit as black folk, but don't really understand that in Black Wall Street, it was Negroes providing services for other Negroes to the point that they were self-sufficient and they didn't need anybody who was not of the Negro race to come even fuck with them. The only reason why they got fucked with because they were spending so much goddamn money amongst themselves. You had black banks, you had black grocery stores, black schools, you had black hospitals, black everything, and then white folks said we gotta get a piece of that money. Do y'all realize the thing they got Malcolm X and Martin Luther King Jr. killed was not Martin Luther saying non-violent from white folks. Like, we don't give a fuck if you do get violent. We got something to deal with. Malcolm said, you kill my dog, I'll kill your cat. They was like, nigga, try it, and let's see how this shit go down for you. Now, the thing that got both of them murdered within a year or two, less than 2 years apart, was when they tried to tell us as black people how to spend our money. Not let other people tell your child on a record to kill his brother, disrespect his mother and his sister. No. I remember Ice Cube said, and Ice Cube, I know you probably would, it'd probably take you a year to see this video, but when you said you can't be a nigga for life through with a wife telling you what to do, how you gonna disavow Kanye, man? When you said that shit almost 20 years ago, dealing with that shit you were dealing with NWA, and that one person telling Easy all this shit here, and you niggas created, even though y'all probably didn't know it, y'all created the prison industrial complex, which y'all created that gangster music. And since then, that same boy, you said you can't be a nigga for life through with a white telling you what to do. That same that told Easy what to do created the crack cocaine epidemic. Well, niggas started going to jail because y'all preaching, selling that dope and shit to our people. We sold the dope and we went to their jails because the record companies, and again, I don't give a fuck if y'all say it's conspiracy, but your record companies, your prison industrial complex, and your sheriff departments and all these other people colluded. We're going to pump the dope from the Iran-Contra affair. Yeah, this shit go deep. Understand that, y'all research. I talked to y'all about it on later day. Ain't got time. But the Iran-Contra affair, they were getting dope from Nicaragua in South America, bringing that shit to America, creating it and transferring it into crack cocaine through Free Ray Ricky Ross, the real Ricky Ross, not that big pork chop sandwich eating ass nigga out there trying to sell y'all kids, you and your kids, alcohol. But the real Free Ray Ricky Ross didn't even know he was a part of a CIA operative to bring crack cocaine into our community, combine it with gangster music, telling you all to sell that shit, which will lead you to the prison industrial complex. So I ask you, when you say you can't be a nigga for life through without telling you what to do, I remember that shit. So you can't really just throw Kanye under the bus. Shaq, all these other people threw that man under the bus. You know why? Because they can't let him fuck with their money. Shaq got all these goddamn pizza, Papa John. All these guys, Magic Johnson, Kenneth, all the people that you see on the NBA when they come to Kyrie, they got all these goddamn business. Why can't they say, well, fuck it. We're going to make sure that we spend our money amongst our people. Yeah, they got to make that other money because I'm gonna be real. Our people, we fuck. Our people as black people, I'm gonna just be real. I prayed to God for deliverance, but I see no hope for us as black. Ain't no motherfucking hope for us because we have been too indoctrinated. Y'all sit up here and tell me, oh, your old ass just too old because you don't understand Meg Stallion. I understand that bitch clear. She telling you and your daughter how to sell pussy. I understand it very clear. That's her message, eh? I robbed Cardi B. I robbed two niggas who thought they finna get some pussy, but I put them to sleep with a molly. Didn't Rick Ross have to retract some words in his lyrics on his whole album when he talked about getting drugging somebody? Come on, this is the kind of shit that they're putting in front of us as black people. If y'all watch P Valley and all that other shit, I cannot judge you, but I will say I will not want you babysitting my motherfucking children. Plain and simple. Ain't no way the fuck I'll let somebody, Uncle, Uncle Sabrina. Why would I fucking let Uncle Sabrina babysit my son? Truth is what it is. Uncle Sabrina. That's the one when every time you have a family reunion, you got everybody. You got that one uncle that smoke dope, that smoke crack or whatever. Soon as he come up, everybody hide their purse. Uncle Sabrina be the nigga when they roll up, everybody hide their motherfucking children. So why would I agree with some shit like that as a black man? Don't I have a right to tell my son, hey, don't disrespect nobody? That's not. You are a little boy. You gotta exit from you. You can't change it, so no matter what. But no matter what my son choose to do, if he choose to go to that community, them or whatever, all them alphabet people, if he choose to go to that community, guess what? I can't do shit but still love him. But I'm gonna tell you, you and your hood buddy, little boy, won't stay the night. You gotta sleep in the motherfucking carport, and he gotta sleep upstairs. Pick my rule. Anyway, go y'all. Let me in this video. If you, yeah, I'm admit, man. This is my first video back in a while. I haven't. Jackson boy. Jackson boy, you my boy. I'm finna have to make you a moderator also, Jackson boy. You been there from day one. All right, let me see. I'm gonna read. What did it say? 318 News. Sigma Arajo. Sigma Arajo. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing your name right, my brother. Jackson boy say, back up, something new. Hey, what you mean by that, Jackson boy? What when you say back up, something? What you mean by that? Oh, you talking about from the screen? Okay. 500 in jail. Exactly. Anonymous. 387. Anonymous. It's their money. 8,000. rayzhonte. Thank you. Hey, Sigma, I appreciate you, man, for sharing that. For sharing that cash tag, but you hit it wrong. You hit the ampersand, not the ampersand, whatever that is, whatever it is. But it's $ rayzhonte. Go on, hit that cash out while you doing that, man. I sure appreciate it. Help us out, man. Y'all really don't realize how hard I have a time to try to come and bring y'all one of these videos that might get this whole page shut down because I'm going to have to go back shortly and block both of the last videos I did because I said a word that I shouldn't have said. And guess what? The word ain't nigger. The word ain't crap. It ain't tough. The word always. I said that one word, and now a little Negro like me who won't even have nowhere near the platform, Kanye West and Kyrie Irving, who actually had the guts though and the nuts, tell you the truth. Y'all better roll with them niggas, man. For real. And understand, if you're spending your motherfucking money on shit that's killing your kids, Don't that make you stupid motherfucker on the planet? For real. Everything that they give to us, to give to our kids, is indoctrinating them with materialism, death, chaos, mayhem, and destruction. Not to mention sexual promiscuousness. Because we here in Louisiana better realize that even though you had that virus, what was 19 that 2 years ago, you still got STDs right now that make Louisiana the #1 motherfucking place probably in America for STDs. When I say STDs, that shit like syphilis, herpes, gonorrhea. They got a strain of gonorrhea here in Louisiana that's killing motherfuckers. And niggas worried about getting jabs from a virus that probably was created maybe somewhere else on this planet, probably up there on the East Coast. If y'all look at Fort Detrick, I can't say too much, but just look at it starting from Fort Detrick. Remember when they were talking about all that vaping and shit about 4 years ago? Yeah, all them folks were dying about vaping. Anyway, we talk all this shit to black folks and don't realize it. Get behind Kanye and Kyrie. Get behind them and say, fuck it. We don't need a deal right now to make tennis shoes for us. Because guess what? Nike, Adidas, and all that. Guess what? Even Michael Jordan had to back away from this shit. Y'all, a lot of people don't realize that Michael Jordan is not associated with Nike right now. But they try to fuck over him. And he ain't say nothing about them JP. But we as niggas can't say nothing about nobody. But we say anything. We could call Donald Trump the most racist cracker on the planet, and nothing will happen. But say something about one of them Jewish football team owners. Guess what? You gonna be on Maury Post this tomorrow. I saw it. Got me talking about phone, about so much. How anyway, y'all let me hurry up and get off this goddamn YouTube and cancel this video and put it on my YouTube channel where only if you subscribe. I'm gonna be real. I hate to do this shit, but guess what? Don't nobody give me shit anyway. Matter of fact, I need 10 of y'all to put $5. Man, we've been going for almost 2 hours now. Y'all ain't seen me in 2 months. Been going for 2 hours, and ain't nobody hit the cash out. Oh no, Miss Pimpston. Oh, Mr. Pimpston. Somebody hit wait a minute, we got a super chat. You gotta go back there because I just seen that. Mr. Pimpston. Mr. Pimpston, thank you, my brother. That super chat. Black people don't realize, well, now I'll put it like this. If I was trying to be that conservative, sell-out ass Negro brother that's telling you the Republicans are our answer, niggas would, I'm gonna be real, I can make more money being a Republican than I can just being independent, or definitely I would never be a fucking Democrat. Oh man, Democrats are the biggest piece of shit on the planet. Man, y'all don't realize you got a bunch of white folks that telling you niggas how to think. These white folks that control all your media. Do y'all realize the Democrats control NBC, ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox, Bloomberg? Not Fox. They don't control Fox, but Fox is basically locked up in line because they are controlled by the military industrial complex, which is the one that's making you send your $50 billion in the next 2 weeks, on top of the $100 billion that you sent to Ukraine. How many y'all? So man, y'all got to be the greatest people on the planet. You motherfuckers in America just really said, even though shit is tight around here in America, we ain't got lettuce in the stores. Our gas prices are running up, but we definitely feel good about sending our tax dollars to the Ukraine. Black and white people ought to feel that shit because your tax dollars is going to send another $50 billion to them people over there. But yet still here I am in Shreveport trying to tell y'all about what's really going on. I can't even get 6 niggas to pitch in $7 to help a nigga with the Wi-Fi charge. Man, y'all come on, y'all know how this shit go. Y'all know I ain't the only nigga on YouTube. Y'all go to church every goddamn Sunday and nigga saying, pastor saying, and God's, but it's God's house. And God need 2 more crystal chandeliers in them 2 back rooms back there by the toilet. And we got to get these crystal chandeliers in the name of God. And you niggas would give it to God. But God don't need no money. Wait a minute. Why would you give it to God? God created money, didn't he? Oh, you gave it to the nigga that say he over God's house, but don't come to that motherfucker till Wednesday and Sunday. Why he come on Wednesday and Sunday? Because that's Bible study and motherfucking church. You got Sunday school, you got first service, and you got second service on Sundays. So that nigga getting paid each time, because each time, remember that nigga asking you for tithes and offerings. And we as black people blindly go to that motherfucking place they call church on Sunday, and in each individual neighborhood give $30,000 every Sunday, which your pastor takes to a bank on Monday that's owned by one of them J's who will not give you a fucking loan on the money that you gave pastor to put a chandelier. But then you come back the next Sunday and pastor drive, he upgraded from the BMW. He motherfucking bitch. And you saying, long as my pastor blessed, I know I'm blessed. You gotta realize that's the dumbest shit. You gotta realize the first people that they co-opted when they released the so-called released the slaves was your preacher. Only motherfuckers, think about this, only motherfuckers that could read that was black were who? The preachers. And they couldn't read nothing but what? Them scriptures. To keep you niggas saying that. Mouse hit you in your right cheek. Turn to the left. Fuck that. And Mouse will ball his fist. At first of all, ain't finna be no Mouse. Because I'd have been that nigga on lunch. I'm not talking about at my first day of slavery. I'm talking about I'd have quit at lunch break. Soon as lunch break came around on my first day of slavery, nigga, I'd have been hitting the motherfucking bush. Fuck that. I'd rather be dead than this shit. What choice do I have? I got a choice to sit here and let this man dominate me, and I can't do nothing but turn my right cheek. The slaves obey your master. Or I can say fuck it and die and be with the true master, the creator. This is what we as black man, we can see. And I'm going to end this video again. I've been going for a minute. I've been going a minute 15 on this second broadcast. Truth is what it is, man. I just keep this thing real. I didn't mean even go off on the tangent. I had this thing planned the way I was going to go, but guess what? If the creator tells me to tell y'all something, I'd rather be considered an old ass snack of tooth conspiracy theorist. And y'all find out everything that I say within the next 3-4 days has been true. Because again, we had World War III, y'all. Let me say this real quick. I'm gonna go. You realize your government right now got boots on the ground into Ukraine. We have people who are supposed to be over there watching the weapons that we have sent them. $150 billion we sent to the Ukraine, and you can't buy a fucking head of lettuce here in America. Diesel has ran out in Tennessee and other states. We are facing the most serious crisis, and don't really understand that if we really look and research, look at what's happening in Europe, in France, in Germany, in Britain. Well, not so much in Britain, but in Italy. All these countries who so-called got these sanctions on Russia got tens of thousands people in the street right now saying fuck the war in Ukraine. But the United States is telling, man, you better get a hand on your citizen. Nigga, we need this war in Ukraine because we got to keep this oil high in America and this natural gas so that all of us don't fucking suffer this winter. So now you got the Ukrainians who are over there getting weapons to the tune of $150 billion from you, selling a third of the motherfucking weapons. Well, not really selling, almost half the weapons. Half the weapons that we sent to Ukraine has went missing. This is why they put so-called inspectors, United States inspectors, on the ground in military. They're military personnel on the ground in Ukraine. And guess what's going to happen? Them same depots where they checking for them weapons, the Russians might just bomb them motherfuckers to keep them weapons from coming to the Ukrainian front line. What's going to happen? I can just see right now that is the perfect motherfucking recipe for World War III. Do y'all understand where we at? Your government is collapsing here in America. And when you look at historical precedent and fact, every time any great civilization started to collapse, they needed to create a major war to distract the citizens and get you all hyped and popped up for them poor Ukrainian people to lose their lives because American motherfucking bomb makers, North, all your military industrial, was it Raytheon, all your motherfucking Boeing, anything that makes a bomb or a bullet is making billions, while at the same time, hundreds of thousands and millions die behind the bombs and bullets that they make at your expense. Because you motherfuckers in America are so patriotic, you can have no problem giving up $150 billion to Ukraine while you got damn near 150,000, I mean almost 2 million people in America home. Literacy, $4 in America, but the people of Ukraine, God bless their hearts, and get supplement at the American tax dollar expense. Because we in America, we get love taking democracy to a country that's full of a bunch of Adolf Hitler little people. Y'all be blessed.